suicide rate among Native Americans has grown quickly in the last decade, far ahead of any other group in the country. There have been a lot of proposals to try and bring that rate down, but it remains stubbornly high. Our next guest wants to try a new approach. He says a big step in reducing that suicide rate would be to provide more creative outlets for Native American youth and young adults. One way to do that, he wants to open a mobile recording studio for Native Americans to get their music recorded in a professional setting. He's looking for help to get the idea off the ground. Here to tell us about it is Elliot Christensen. He's a music business student at Globe University in Madison. Elliot, welcome to Central Time.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Well, talk first of all about the suicide rate among Native Americans. You were giving me some numbers just before we started that are very sad.
Yes, the suicide rate is 3 times higher than any other demographic on reservations, than any other demographic in the United States. Some reservations see that go up to 16 times, and it's really became an epidemic, is what I'd like to say. It's a real big problem. It's almost like a state of emergency for a lot of these reservations.
And this is a personal issue for you, too.
Yes. I recently lost a cousin this fall to this epidemic, and this is when this idea really started to come about.
And why a recording studio? Why is that the way you want to try to help make a dent in this?
Well, music seems to be a real art. It is for me. You listen to artists; they're artists. When their music comes out, it requires us, some creativity. So I would like to let them express that creativity, and also to be able to give them some hope. I was born on a reservation. I went out. You can go out too. There's hope. There's possibilities. There's a way for you to get yourself heard.
And music also, it's a way to express yourself and tell your story, whether you're literally, saying your story in lyrics or doing it in musical form. Do you think that's part of why this idea seems exciting to you?
It is. It's a real way for them to express themselves, to get through those hard times or something like that. Write a song. Hey, record it. Send it to me. Whenever I get this up and running, I plan on being available and to have people that are available to read over people's songs and, hey, let's do this or think about that. And, just to be there for them.
And you are a music engineer, and you're training in that right now at Globe University, right?
Correct.
And so your hope is, I think it was a mobile recording studio. How would this work? What would you do?
We looked at a couple different examples, like the John Lennon tour bus that they have that is set up with a recording studio. And I think that would be a great start, to kind of have like a bus where they can see how the studio is set up, and then be able to record their music.
And you'd travel around the region, around the country?
I would plan to travel around the country. Like I said, this is an Indian country problem. This is on every reservation. It's not just one. So.
And when you have told other people who are on reservations about this idea, what do they think about it? What's been the response so far?
So far, it's been really positive. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, and I've actually been able to recruit a bunch of help. I have video photographers and some other people and songwriters and singers that would like to travel with, to be able to talk to the kids and be able to help them as well.
And maybe be a backup band or provide some backup vocals or something, maybe?
That would be great.
Okay.
And, to actually inspire these kids that say, I'm an artist, I'm out, I went to Austin, or I went out to L.A., or I'm singing gigs, and I'm just to be able to inspire them that, hey, you can make it too.
And the idea isn't that everybody you record is going to be a rock star.
No. It's not possible, but sure. They'll be able to get their voice out there and be able to get it heard.
Well, and also, getting it out there, but also I think sometimes just holding it in your hand, whatever form it may take, a CD, or if you're old-fashioned like me, or some of the more newfangled technology, being able to hold that up and say, I did this.
Right, and being able to have it done in a professional studio to see how it's all done. Then they'll be able to take it and put it on a platform where, who knows, maybe somebody hears that song and wants to record that song. And, that's what it's all about, is just getting their voice heard.
And so do you have a timeline on this? When are you hoping it gets up and running? Yeah, that's the tough one, yeah.
I am actually working on it. It's a work in progress. We're in the early stages right now. But as it gets going, I'm looking at really making a push for it in March, which is when I graduate. So,
okay. And now, what kind of music do you envision? I mean, people might hear this and think, "Oh, you're trying to get Native American traditional music." That's not it, though, right? Or that could be.
It's all up in the air. Whatever they want. If there's a drum group that comes in and wants to record something, I'm actually working on building a mic setup for a traditional drum so we can get a better recording. And if they want to do that, that's fine. If they want to come in and even do a cover of a song just to see it be recorded, we'll do that too.
And why, I mean, of course, the personal story and the statistics out there, why you, I guess, is what I'm asking. Why do you feel the need that you need to get out and do this?
My grandpa Chris, he passed away a couple years ago, Chris Leith, and his saying was always, what does your journey matter if you don't share it with others? I've been blessed enough to be able to come to school, and I want to share my journey with others, and if I can help some of these kids, that's a big plus for me.
And are you looking for helpers apart from the musicians you mentioned? Are you envisioning yourself as kind of mostly a solo gig driving around the country, or are you looking for a team to do this?
No, I know that I'm not going to be able to do it all by myself. I'd like to think that I'd be able to, but I know I can't. I won't be able to do that. So I am going to be putting a team together to go out and be able to do this.
And that's one of the next steps. And what else is next for you between now and, fingers crossed, March to get this up and running?
I'm studying into Native American business grants, but I'm not the greatest writer. My problem is I like to keep everything kind of short. I don't give long explanations for stuff. So, but we're looking into that and starting to get some funding and sponsoring some sponsorships. We're digging into that. That's kind of what I'd like to get set up by March.
And so if somebody's listening and saying, I know how to write grants, or, gosh, if you're in my area, I'd love to go and play bass with whoever you're recording, or wants to help out in any way, how can they get in touch with you?
feathernotemusic@gmail.com is the email that we set up for this for right now, and that's the best way to really get a hold to be able to help with this project.
And as you're talking to people, we mentioned on reservations and off, are you getting a lot of gleam in the eye from people, like saying, this is a good idea, we need to run with this?
Yes, I've had the ability to have some great instructors, and they always said, do what's going to make you happy, follow your dreams. And going into the music business, I wasn't sure what I was going to do, if I was going to manage or what I want. I just know I wanted to be in that environment. But I was able to kind of find a niche, engineering and mixing and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to do, and that's how it all kind of came about.
If we have you back on the show in a year from now, what would success look like? What would you, at that point, be saying, hey, we're doing good work here?
Having a crew up and being able to go to the reservations and being able to record these kids and interact with them, that's would be success for me in any capacity, if it's in a minivan or whatever, as long as we're able to get to those kids and help them.
And hopefully bring down that suicide rate one kid at a time, if that's what it takes.
One kid at a time, no matter what. If it touches one kid's life and gives them some hope, that's success for me.
All right. Elliot, say that email one more time for us, and we'll try to put it up on our Central Time Facebook page.
It's feathernotemusic@gmail.com.
All right, Elliot, I'm hoping that we can have you back on and play some tracks that you've recorded along the way. Elliot, thanks a lot for coming up here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That was Elliot Christensen. He's a music business student at Globe University in Madison. He's working on this recording project, trying to get a mobile studio to go to reservations around the country, give kids some hope, and cut down the suicide rate. Coming up next, we'll talk about